up, guys? It's your boy.
Today we're going to be putting a pause on my abandoned Nissan Skyline build, so we're going to get that out of the garage, pull the M3 out of the garage, and then we're going to put the Mark V Supra in here. I have something really excited for it. I've been working on it for quite a while. It's very, very expensive, and I think it's going to be one of the coolest Supras ever to exist. So we've got the Supra in the garage now. Obviously, as you can tell, our vinyl wrap is over here. Hi, Rachel. We're gonna do Tiny Butt. I don't know if it's any good. I've never used it before. I've heard mixed things. It's horrible for beginners. I've wrapped a few cars in the past, so hopefully it's not gonna be that bad. We're gonna start with the hood, which, by the way, is like 1,000,000 feet long, so this is gonna be almost physically impossible. And by physically impossible, I just mean it's going to be very difficult. The hood is roughly 7 feet by 6 feet, and my vinyl wrap is only 5 feet. So the first thing I'm doing is cutting the vinyl to size and using the scrap pieces for my overlays. I've only wrapped a handful of cars, so I'm not sure the best area to put the overlay, but my idea was to have it closer to the window and laid first, so it's not as noticeable and it's less likely for it to peel up later. There's the tool I was needing the whole time. With my very little experience in vinyl wrapping cars, I'm trying to make sure this is as even and as perfect as possible. So what you're seeing me do is kind of go back and forth to figure out exactly where the vinyl needs to sit.
I'm gonna hold it really tight. And I'm just gonna hold it. I'm not holding it anymore.
The goal for laying the vinyl is to try and create a glass surface. What that means is a flat and smooth area for me to squeegee. There's of course going to be a few ripples here and there, and I just have to read the vinyl and pull and stretch in those locations to try and make it as flat as possible, and then continue to squeegee that out. I'm gonna start in the center, work my way out, and then go to the other side and do the exact same thing. Because this vinyl is so new to me and I've got no experience with Tiny Butt, I'm trying to just read what it does, get a feel for how it works, which honestly, it's kind of difficult for a beginner. Thankfully, I have some experience, but it is pretty difficult if you don't have the right amount of heat or you're not pulling in the right areas.
What up, guys? It's your boy.
Yo, we're here at Keegan's Garage, and here we are with the Super
So here's where we're at. The hood is completely finished. I did have to do a seam right here on this side just because the vinyl wrap is not big enough to fit the entire hood. Like I said, this hood is massive. It's like 7 feet long. It's absolutely outrageous, and there's no fenders or anything on it, so I didn't want to do a seam this way or a seam in the center. I ended up having just to do the seam back here. That's the smallest amount that I'll see, so I think that's okay. I went ahead and did the fenders off camera just because it's super dark outside and all the cameras were dead. This whole hood though was it was horrible. This is the first time I've ever worked with Tiny Butt vinyl, and it works really, really well, but it needs a decent amount of heat so it can actually stretch properly. Also, it's cold, so it doesn't help the situation. And then it's very, very sticky. So that kind of sucked. I'm used to 3M where I have a little bit of relief and a little bit of play with it. This does not have a whole lot. It looks really good. It works pretty well once I got used to it, but it's not as difficult as I thought it was gonna be. I've heard stories about how it's just absolutely horrible just to work with, but quality is amazing and I'm really happy with it. It's hard to pick it up on camera, but the pearl, the reddish pink glow that's in it, it looks so good. You can really see it right there with the lights. It looks kind of OEM, almost like paint, but obviously it is vinyl wrap. And now it's time to jump to day number 2 of working on this. Right, so today I'm working alone and using all of my newfound knowledge to do the door. In order to do this properly, I had to go ahead and remove the door handle, the mirror, and the fake door vent, which was more difficult than it needed to be. Once all of that was removed, I got to work laying the vinyl onto the door. Based off my livery design, I knew I didn't have to do the whole door, so I have a tape line indicating where I need to stop. Building the door by myself really wasn't too difficult, but there are some curves towards the back of the door that would have been much easier having a second set of hands. After I got the vinyl installed, I trimmed all the edges and tucked them as best as I could. There's a few areas that gave me trouble, but I'm still pretty happy with how everything came out. I've got both doors done, hood, fender, and actually wrapped this section black as well, so that way it matches the rest of the car and it matches the livery design. Now it's time to unbox the livery itself. This is from Superwowfactory. It's supposed to be really organized and really pretty and really good, so I've got to open it, organize it, and start putting stuff on the car. And it looks like a lot, but it's really well organized. Just opening this, I'm really happy. They have labels on every single thing, so that's awesome. And it comes with a squeegee. So they have instructions on how to install all of this. I need to look them up on my email and make sure I'm doing it in the correct order. But I think I'm gonna start on the hood and then we'll do the sides of the car.
Small city thinking, I get why you left. Small-minded people, sure know how to drink. I came to the party, I laughed at the jokes you made. I wish that I hadn't, 'cause now the joke's on me. I didn't come here just so I could watch you make a mess. I didn't come here to ugly cry in my favorite dress. So what the hell were you thinking then when you kissed your lips? Now I'm kinda glad you did, 'cause now you adore me, adore me. Go ahead now, adore me, adore me. Little did I know she wanted you alone. I thought she was over you, but I guess I was wrong. I came to the party, I laughed at the jokes she made. I wish that I hadn't, 'cause now the
3:28 a.m.
The plan for tonight was to get the whole hood done, and I got everything done. It looks so good. Tomorrow I'm gonna start doing the sides, and then at some point I'll work on the bumper. I just really don't wanna work on the bumper right now, especially doing it by myself. It sucks, it's a pain in the butt. But all of this, oh my god, sponsored logos, even though I'm not sponsored, I wish I was. I know a lot of people are gonna hate on the ESR wheels, but I'm running those on this car. They're actually in that corner over there. They're originally for my white Skyline, but now I'm gonna figure out a way to fit them on this. Overall, the car is looking amazing and I'm super happy with it. Well, it's currently been a few weeks since I've last worked on the Supra, but let me show you where it's at. We've got both sides completely done and taken care of, and it just looks so damn good. There were a few issues that happened on the other side with the chrome pieces. The chrome on this is insanely hard to work with, and I never want to work with chrome vinyl again. It's very hard to just stretch. You can't use any heat. It's horrible. But the pink vinyl, all of this, the pink, purple, the like Japanese style flames, all of that laid really, really well, and that is my favorite thing about this car. It just looks so damn good. Like, I'm in love. Now all I have left to do are the new wheels and the spoiler for the trunk, and then of course I still have to do the front bumper. I just really don't want to do that by myself. I'd prefer to have somebody do this with me, but it may end up being just me, just depending on time constraints, because I'm tired of sitting here looking at it without the front bumper being white. It throws off the car for me, and just not a huge fan of the black bumper. I love the color black, and the black Supra itself look really, really good, but I think if it was all one color on the front, so white bumper, white hood, doors, I think it would look a lot better. And I mean, don't get me wrong, that still looks really good, but just imagine if all of this was white too and it matched with this. There's one cherry blossom design that goes about right here, but I'm so ready to have the vinyl work completely done. Doing this by myself has been a huge challenge. I did have Rachel and Levi to help with the hood and a few of the other pieces up here, so thank you to them. It was a huge help, especially since this hood is so massive. I don't ever want to do another Supra hood in my life, but doing the rest of the car has been pretty much done by myself, and it's a challenge, so I definitely want to have some help with that guy. There are some imperfections that are on this that I'm not a huge fan of, that I wish I could have done better, but I am learning how to do vinyl wrap. I've never really done this entirely by myself before, and like I've mentioned multiple times in this video, I have very, very little experience doing this, and this was all kind of a self-teaching moment. I didn't want to pay somebody to do it because I wanted to learn the skills to do it myself, and I learned a lot while doing it. Now the camera's not going to do this justice at all, but I'm going to show you where some of the imperfections are on this thing. It's just from me rushing. Like right here, there's a little bit of bubbles that are popping up. It's peeling back about right in this area, and that was from me just not prepping the hood enough. I thought I cleaned it really well, but there was still stuff underneath here like dirt, and it didn't create a good stick point. So that's peeling back a little bit. I can kind of fix it, hopefully. It's same thing happened over here. It's starting to peel back a little bit underneath the hood, just right in this guy. Really hard to see. But that originally stuck just fine. But the problem with the Supra, there'll be like tar that gets built up right in here on this edge and right over here as well. So those I knew were going to be problem areas, but I tried to clean them as best I could, and it still ended up failing a little bit on that side. So that's something I have to fix. There's a few other spots on here that I can just kind of point out if I really wanted to. Like this accidentally cut incorrectly, so there's a line here, but it's really, really hard to see on camera. So there's just, it's a few areas that I'm not super happy with that I'd like to redo, but it's really expensive to redo all of that, so I'm not even going to worry about it. It's fine. It's not going to be on here forever. It's just to kind of grow the brand and hopefully work with Toyo Tires in the future. Same thing for ESR, hopefully work with them in the future, because these are just companies that I like, that I want to support, and I'm running their products on the car, along with Sabon as well. I'd love to work with them in the future as well. I'm going to be running their front lip at some point. Just need to afford it. It's very expensive, and everything that was going to go in this car money-wise is now on the Skyline in the garage since I happened to break the front window. This is currently what the front window looks like on the Skyline, and these are about $1,500 to $2,000 just for a new one, and I don't have the money for that, so I had to take money away from the Super Fund to go into this, and now I'm incredibly broke. Now there will be an update on this car as well. I'm actually going to be bringing the mirrors and the spoiler to work at some point so I can get those painted and we can get an idea of what the color is actually going to look like and have a little bit more motivation and be more inspired to get this car going. There's a lot of work left to do on it, but that's for a future video, and definitely not for the Supra video. Anyway, here's one last look of the Supra before we end the video. Let me know what you guys think about it. Do you like it? Do you hate it? What should I have done differently? And I will see you guys on the next one. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're new. All right, stay awesome. Later.
Yeah.